give us the insights on the body after baby and the sense chef concept. Some time ago, we started this program with a few of our patients here at our center and one resident who happens to be there. There are actually two speakers. I would like to introduce the first one, Nadine Tenko. She's the president of iHealth and a certified fitness nutritionist and chef with good catering course in naturopathic nutrition. Nadine works with a wide range of fitness experts as part of customizing comprehensive food and exercise plan. Nadine is on board with several companies like the Healthy and Active Living projects. She also has pioneered healthy chef exhibitions in local culinary industry. Nadine is a regular TV and event guest expert on nutrition, as well as contributor to various publications, articles, and information on healthy eating and living. You will see her in by next year in the Biggest Loser program over television. Biggest Loser. And then Rachel Alejandro doesn't really need a lot of much of introductions, but she's part of the Body After Baby program with her sister Barney Alejandro, and of course the mom is here. We call her the rock star mom. She's going on tomorrow.
CR.
Okay, right. So we'd like to call on our first speaker, Mr. D. Tenko.
Hi. I'm going to start with little nutrition IQ lang, just to set our baseline, where we're at in terms of nutrition. Because I know you're very well aware of your field, but let me just get an insight on where you are at in nutrition. Okay, my question first is, what's healthier, brown sugar or white sugar? Not included. Okay. Brown sugar or white sugar?
Brown.
Okay, generally all of you take brown. Actually, there's none. It's the same. Yeah. Brown sugar is exactly like white sugar. It's also processed and refined. And only in the end do they add molasses for flavor. It's just for flavor. So it's the same. Common ano yan, mistake. But the one that would be healthier is what we call the muscovado. The one that's mas malalaki yung grains and doon nakasample. But what is actually better is something that we created in the Philippines called the coco muscovado or the coco sugar. You see that na in your groceries. Well, it's even good for diabetics because it's half the glycemic index. It's half the glycemic index of sugar. Sugar is 65 on a 1 to 100 scale. Coco sugar is 35 lang. So it's advisable for diabetics. So, and we created that in the Philippines. It's already in your grocery store, so you can probably advise patients to use it instead. And it's relatively
Approved by the endocrinologist?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is. It's already approved. It was it's pioneered and it's created here in the Philippines. Before it was very expensive kasi only a few growers did that. Pero yung malalaking mga coco growers already manufactured it. So it's available na in the market. And at relatively cheap cost. It depends on the brand. Also the taste. Kasi po, sometimes meron pang latte flavor. So it varies from brand to brand. But it's a good substitute. But if not that, then the muscovado. Pero I prefer really the coco sugar.
What's the glycemic of muscovado?
It's the same, only that it's not refined, so therefore it's processed by the body in a different way. It's lower ang ano niya. Yung glycemic load niya is lower. Glycemic index is the same, but the load, the impact is lower because it's better. It's better than brown or white sugar. Okay, next. I have a favorite. Question. What's healthy? Filet o fish? Check. Mac chicken or cheeseburger?
Wow.
Sige na, yung pa lang.
Filet o fish.
Kailangan may some.
Meron pa.
May one.
Filet o fish.
Filet-O-Fish, ang general. Filet-O-Fish?
Yes.
Okay, Filet-O-Fish is the highest in calorie. Cheeseburger has the and the highest in fat is McChicken. Okay, look at the fat of McChicken compared to cheeseburger, which is only 12, and hamburger, which is 9. Okay. See, because generally we think just because it's beef,
Yeah.
it's not healthy. But the thing is, Filet-O-Fish is actually breaded and fried. Tapos may tartar sauce pa siya. Okay, but then the cheeseburger is grilled. So cheeseburger naman yan eh, binibigyan ko na ng cheese para medyo patas. But the hamburger is really very healthy. I was asked what's the healthiest junk food classified, and it's really hamburger, the plain hamburger. So it doesn't mean just because it's fish, it's always healthier. Okay? Pati yung sodium, tignan niyo yung sodium ng Filet-O-Fish, 830. Tsaka yung McChicken, the two things you thought was healthy, yung McChicken, look at the sodium compared to hamburger and cheeseburger. So, yun yung common knowledge ng wali. Eto, you may not know this, but you snack on this. Who snacks on this? Okay. Sometimes. One whole pack of this is 900 calories.
Wow.
Because they say it's 150 per serving, but there are 6 servings. And look at the fat. It's your entire day's fat recommendation. What does that mean even, generally? That I have also a ding-dong. A pack of this is equal to 1 ham and cheese, 1 corn tuna sandwich, and 1 corn tuna, which is even less. And the fat is 13.8 versus 31.9. Okay, that's innocent ding-dong. Ito yan, itong buong ding-dong na yan is equal to 1 ham and cheese, 1 corn tuna, and 1 corn tuna pandesal. And 1 pack of nagaraya is equal to 2 ham and cheese and 3 corn tuna pandesal. That's one. So, would you rather have 1 pack nagaraya or 2 ham and cheese and 3 corn tuna pandesal? Okay, so that's not parang ito yung perception ng healthy, di ba? Very, very innocent siya kasi snack lang siya. Okay, next. This is you know you need potassium. So if you want to keep your metabolism strong, revved and all, which of these would offer the most potassium? Would it be kamote, yogurt, or medium banana?
Yogurt.
Banana or yogurt? Ang answer.
Yogurt.
Okay, the answer is kamote. Yun ang different IQ. So, even notice tomato, it's even higher. Banana only has 422. Even melon has more, I think. Yeah, than banana. Except that banana is convenient. Okay, that's why banana is okay. Kasi you just peel banana and then you have your instant source. Yung kamote kasi you cook it pa. That's lang yung instant source na yun. But potassium is quick. The others, you have to cook it pa. So, parang if you want instant source, yun lang, the convenience of banana. And I always say it's versatile kasi ang dami-dami quality ng banana. But really, if you're thinking of nutrient load, yung common idea na it's from banana, it's really not. Okay, last na to. Calcium is key to building bones. So, which of these dairy foods is not a good source? Not a good source.
Cottage cheese.
We have everything. Yeah. Okay. Who's for cottage cheese? one. Who's for yogurt?
Yogurt.
Who's for fat-free milk? The answer, the one that says cottage.
Actually, cottage cheese and
Kasi mas concentrated siya.
Medyo fail tayo sa nutritional cue. When they process this, nawawala yung calcium. Okay. So, the point there is, what we really think, yung tinatawag ng common knowledge, even to doctors, we really see that it's not what it seems. So generally, that's why the issue of healthy food is confusing to everyone. Even the perception of healthy food, how it tastes, how it should look, how it should appear, how much it will take. Medyo, it's confusing. There are conflicting opinions. Pati yung mga urban legends naghahalo na yung common knowledge and all. So that's why, basically, that's why we at Sexy Chef make and work the science for the clients, okay? Because we invest in the science of weight management, weight loss, and nutrition to deliver the healthiest foods to the clients. So why are we here? Because we have 2 new programs that we think will be a perfect match to the services of your department. The first one is the program we call Body After Baby. What's a healthy pregnancy diet? Isa pa yan, ang common misconception ng mga babae pag buntis, I'm eating for 2, di ba? Common yan. Everyone thinks they're eating for 2. Generally, they try to eat for 2. But in reality, ang kailangan lang talaga in terms of calories would be an additional 300 to 500, even the second and third trimester, which is equivalent to only half a sandwich and a glass of milk. If you term in terms of calories. Yun lang ang kailangan nila for your recommended weight gain. Now, they worry about whether they have to gain weight or eat properly because they're worried about the fetus. They worry about the baby. And if you, parang, this how much weight should I gain? That's in general, yung lalo na yung 3/4 to a pound of the second, third trimester, right? Am I correct? Now, if ang worry generally is whether you get adequate nutrition for the growing fetus. Otherwise, there will be the neuromuscular defects, you risk the fetal growth and development of the baby. So, in general, maski yung mommy, they want to eat for 2. They want to nourish themselves because they nourish the baby. Yun ang always a concern. Now, we worry about the mother. I'm sure you worry about the mother only when there is the possibility of complications. And what are those common complications? Of being overweight or underweight? Overweight. Gestational hypertension, which can lead to preeclampsia, of course, gestational diabetes, and of course, longer labor, and what else would be the complication of being overweight of a mom, aside from the one that I cesarean, cesarean, because the baby would be too big. Yeah, that's hypertension, the gestational hypertension. So, there in July of this year, this is presented. I was just telling Joey, there was a new guideline, or that up to this point is not yet enforced, but they are now calling on obstetricians to perhaps make a shift on the focus, not just to focus on the baby in terms of nourishment, or pati yung mothers, to advise them. This is the International Congress on Obesity, which was recently held in Stockholm. Because they usually, the doctors emphasize the importance of weight gain because of the low birth weight and the complications and the concerns for the development of the unborn child. So ang tendency nga ng mom, I have to eat this, I need to eat that, I must buy this, I must have this, vitamins and all, because to nourish the child. So they said that the concern now about the mother's long-term health is actually given lesser priority. Because the general assumption is, after giving birth, you lose it na. You lose the weight after pregnancy. But they over a period of 20 years, they have a study which they published now that says that compared to what was previously thought, it's really harder than what was previously thought for women to shift the extra pounds after giving birth. And the study showed that 1/3 of women put on more weight than necessary. And then those who do put weight tend to gain as much as 50 pounds 2 decades later. From pregnancy, yun yung parang they pack in the pounds and then they lose it. Kasi obesity tends to just grow. Diba? If you're already fat, it multiplies because of compensatory mechanisms of the body. So before, there was this, it averages about 30 pounds, 30-something pounds ang weight gain ng full term. Now they lowered their recommendation to only 22 to 26 max. Okay, so that because the relaxed approach to the weight of the mother is already a global concern because it leads to a lifetime of obesity. Also, this new advice comes in the recent light that there are a rising number of obese moms. So they said that 1 in 4 women are already obese. So this is the reason why they have a new guideline. Now, the next question, logically, would be, how do you eat during pregnancy? Because of these guidelines, because of all these complications, the things that you consider, because you don't naman ignore the need for nourishing the child and the mother, the prevention and the management of the diseases which are common during pregnancy, which is gestational diabetes and hypertension. And the third would be that they call on the obstetricians to include in their management of patients would be the prevention of a life of obesity and illness postpartum. The reality now is it's very difficult to gain weight slowly and still get all the recommended nutrients. But what is actually harder is to lose the weight during pregnancy and still get the nutrients required. Parang it's difficult enough to gain the proper weight, yung less than a pound a week during the second trimester. But it's harder kasi, like I said, as I showed before, the general concept of healthy, people would probably, a pregnant woman would probably eat the filet o fish rather than the cheeseburger, right? So that would be more difficult for a pregnant woman who's already overweight to lose the weight and still retain the nutrients. Now, these are, well, I'm sure you're already familiar with that. These are the recommended nutrients. And you see that there's a very marked difference between being pregnant and being non-pregnant. These are the nutrients again. There's a difference. And I think we should see calcium. There's a 50% jump. And most of the other, and iron is twice. So, this is where the two programs of the Sexy Chef comes in. By recognizing this difficulty and all of that considered. The two programs that we would like to recommend as part of your, perhaps, prenatal package to your patients would be what we have, the body activate. The foods that you're eating are actually part of it. So alam nyo, masarap. Diba? And the sugar buster. The secret kasi is the nutrient-dense superfuel foods that we call. And there's functional foods that we infuse. So there's fortification. And there's nutritional balance. We don't exclude any food groups. The problem kasi before, when we think of dieting, it's always exclusion. No carb, no fat, no salt. Yun lang iniisip ng tao. When it comes to dieting, it's the principle of exclusion. No red meat, no like this, it's all no whatever. So when you prescribe diets to your clients, your patients, you'd say, don't have salt, don't have sugar, don't have like that. But the latest in nutrition science says that instead of the don'ts, you should have the do's, which is looking for chemical compounds in food that you infuse to deliver the proper nutrients. So, our first program is Body After Baby. I said it's both nutritionally balanced kasi we have all the food we have. We do not exclude anything. We have carbohydrates and proteins. We have fat. There's no exclusion. The Body After Baby is also available in 2 levels for the breastfeeding and non-breastfeeding because we consider the special requirements of the breastfeeding moms. Now, the science behind our Body After Baby is what we call the superfuel foods. I'll discuss it later. And our purpose is actually to give them more energy, to regulate mood and sleep, and to promote weight loss. Of course, both will promote weight loss. But the goal is to promote weight loss while giving the proper nutrients, which, as I have established before, is quite difficult to do. Now, the next would be our Sugar Buster, which is also nutritionally balanced. Now, this one comes in 3 levels. This is calorie and portion control. 1 200, 1 400, and 1 600. But it's also based on new research that says there are 4 nutrients, when used together, are effective at not just promoting weight loss, but balancing blood sugar, fighting fat, and boosting energy. So, I'll discuss first the Body After Baby. Like I said, it's carefully formulated to match the nutrient needs. And the purpose of it, the existence of phytochemicals and functional food is foods and chemical compounds that exist in food to help the body and urges the body to lose weight. There's such a thing as resistant starch. Are you familiar with resistant starch? For instance, I recommend to my clients, after nagsaing, palamigin nyo na ang kanin before eating. Papalamigin yung kanin. Why? There is, check. And green bananas, slightly green bananas. There is such a thing as a banana diet in Japan, which took it by storm because some artista used it, and then it made people lose weight. The science behind that is called resistant starch. Itong pagpapalamig ng kanin. When you heat up starch, it explodes, releasing the glucose. Now, when it cools down, a part of it crystallizes. That it's called resistant starch. The body does not digest it goes straight to the bone. It's treated as fiber. Not only is it treated as fiber, so it doesn't increase the blood sugar, no? Not only does it room temp lang. Not only does it is it treated as fiber, it secretes a chemical while in the colon, while it's being digested, called butyrate, that reverses the way you metabolize food. Kasi usually when you eat carbohydrates, the body turns to it first for energy, di ba? Before the stored fat. This butyrate causes the body to digest and use up stored fat. And another thing about it is there is what they call the second meal effect. So that's why they eat it in breakfast, yung mga bananas sa Japan. Because not only does it happen in that meal, it happens on the next meal. So they call it the second meal effect, sometimes extending throughout the meal. So there are many developments in nutrition that allows us now to veer away from no carb, no fat, no salt. So we find now these things that exist in food so that we're able to prepare good tasting healthy food and that are nutrient dense, that encourages the body to lose weight. So, another thing, the cornerstone of the new programs of Body After Baby is malunggay. Because malunggay, moringa, is rich in calcium, more than 4 times I think, that of dairies, and iron. Calcium changes the way the body metabolizes fat. It's another nutrient that we are highlighting in nutrition. It encourages fat metabolism. So that's why there are studies that if they take calcium or dairies, they lose more weight. I prefer not to source most of the calcium from dairies because of lactose intolerance and all the other things. At saka, yes, go.
You know, one of the things that we have to deal with is iodine deficiency, and we're trying to apply less starch in internal food.
Yeah.
How will you address the problem?
Well, that's why we have, it's carefully calculated, our carbohydrates. That's why we only use low glycemic index products. And we source things in the market. For instance, the malunggay noodles that we're eating. That's malunggay. That's a usual amount, as usual serving of carbohydrates is 200 calories. That's when. So it is through the things that we use, the products we source it talaga, because the reason why it's baked, not fried. It's nutrient dense. It's so heavy and so packed. That's why nabubusog ka. So we achieve the balance of the required number of carbohydrates through low density, low glycemic index, starch, and
Did you have to do it?
we source it from a local manufacturer.
It's not
We really,
is it readily available?
yes,
It's not available every some of our patients. Maybe after they cleanse the body after and they lose weight for the anti-thyroid and weight loss which is usually like it was 200 pounds and it's very came back to around 30 after 40 days. I was thinking how sustainable is it? It's expensive.
Of course, we don't really expect, I always say this, we don't really expect them to be enrolled with us the whole time. The general idea, ma'am, is to present them with the idea of what it is, for them to get used to. Generally, what happens to the clients is the understanding of what a proper portion would be, or to train them to eat, how it is to eat every 3 to 4 hours to sustain their blood sugar, hungry or not. So the sustainability is in the actual education. Plus, we do send materials. When they are enrolled in the program, we give a guideline for snacks, diba? It's my name here. Right, my name? Yeah. We enroll, we give information, a beverage guide. So parang it's education because we don't really expect them naman talaga to be enrolled. It's not really, it's expensive. So we turn over the information to them as much as we can. And the actual practice of it is what we hope that they can, just to have a general idea, because people really don't know what a portion is. And by this properly controlled portion sizes and the number of servings and the frequency of the meals and the kind of food that they can eat and the balance of it, they have already a general idea of what it is. So that's where sustainability comes in.
Is your program only for a certain period, or can you sustain it? No, I mean, can you sustain it throughout?
Ma'am, we can. We actually offer, if you're after 6 months now, pregnancy, there's another program that we would like to recommend. So depending on your, depending on your, here, we have recommendation. We also included, another thing pala about the program, ma'am, we included a gentle exercise plan for it, which we would like them to have their obstetricians prior to execution. But it's just a gentle movement plan. But it's set with what do you call it? A booklet. It's a booklet, and it's set, and we encourage, or we tell the patients to send to their obstetrician. This is, I'm now going to shift to Sugar Buster after body after baby. This one is based on new research that I said that there are 4 nutrients used together that will fight fat, well, aid in lowering blood sugar. They have studies that if you have more than 3 times more calcium than what was under calcium ang mga tao they lost 64% more body fat, especially around the waist. Okay, especially down around the waist.
Most important. Most important place.
times na. Bukod dito.
Sana pwedeng dito na lang kumakain. Itali na lang for good. Bibili na lang tayo ng bukas. Vitamin D, 12 cellular inflammation, and it's of course, as you know, important for the absorption of calcium. And omega-3. Okay. So these are the values that I have for the program. Yung sugar buster namin is so calculated so that every day, okay, every day, we have the 4 nutrients, at least 2.7 of the omega-3, calcium at least 1,200 milligrams every day, depending on the calorie plan. It is so calculated that we make sure that every day those 4 nutrients are present. So, the sugar buster, one of the things that's very important, kasi in maintaining, kasi ito yung portion distortion. That's why we like that the clients, the patients, learn from the proper portions. And another thing that's very important, the key, aside from maintaining blood sugar, the key in maintaining weight is actually to have you control blood sugar for the entire day because that maintains high metabolism and it minimizes fat storage. The problem kasi with pregnancy is that, and even post-pregnancy, it's a hectic time for moms. So they skip meals a lot and they eat, they tend to go into the starving binging thing. So by the time they binge, shoot up again yung blood sugar nila, tapos nagka-crash sila. They have highs and lows, hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia. So that's the basic reason why it's very advantageous to have our deliveries because we have it in 3 meals. They are fed every 3 to 4 hours. So hungry or not, 3 meals, 2 snacks a day. So with that, I'm going to let Rachel explain how the delivery and how the company delivers the meals and the programs, and just